Hi, everybody. It's Barry Eustance here from the Success Consultancy. Here with Chris Fox. He's the founder of StratNav. And we're going to talk you through how Chris has created this application that helps new companies, existing companies, organizations build out a strategy. Really, it's like an operating system for your company or your organization. It helps you take all important decisions and they all talk to each other and allows you to build this strategy in almost 3 dimensions. It is to strategy what QuickBooks is to traditional pen and quill bookkeeping. So with no further ado, let's get over to Chris. What we're going to run with initially, the strategy build, the initial sign-in, login, and strategy build for a new organization, new business, and then take you to something we've prepared a little earlier. So over to you, Chris.
Thanks, very great to be sharing with you some of the things that we've been working on at StratNavApp and some of the things that you can do with the tool to help you get more focus and clarity in your business and ultimately to obviously help you get better results. We can see what the tool looks like and feels like to work with. So I'm going to look for the share option and I'm going to quickly share StratNavApp. Hopefully you can see that on your screen now. So all I've done at this stage, I've signed into the tool, which is really easy. You just need an email address and you need to set up a password, or you can sign in with Google Single Sign-On or something like that. And once you're in there, it takes you through a very short wizard just to get you set up right. And you'll see you've got a number of options depending on what you're trying to do. The first one here, if you want to develop a new strategy for an existing business, you'd select that option. That is, I would say, by far the most popular option why people come to StratNavApp, but it's not the only thing that you can do. You can also say you already have a strategy and you're just looking for support in executing that strategy. So we have an option for that. And then we've got an option for a startup. If you don't have a business yet, you want to start a business from scratch. And some other options here, which you can explore at your leisure. So there are a number of different use cases. If you go down the startup track, then it's going to be helping you set up something from scratch completely. So for an entrepreneur, that might be a really good option. But of course, if you're an SME, you've got an existing business perhaps, and you're just not getting the growth or the take-up that you want, or you have more ambitions, it will help you from a mature business to achieve even greater growth as well. So it'll work in both circumstances. The fundamental strategy process remains the same, but the system will just tweak the way it interacts with you and the way it guides you through the process depending on your specific use case.
So basically from entrepreneur, small business, all the way through to small to medium-sized enterprise, SMEs, and all cases in between. And it's not just strategies, it's structuring the organization itself. And a disclosure, everybody, that I use StratNav almost daily in my own consultancy work.
I think you make an important point there, and that is when you look at the tool, don't think about, I've got a business that I'm running on the one hand, and I want to have a strategy on the other hand, as if they're almost two separate things. What we really want to do here is we want to run our business more strategically. So we want strategy to become, if you like, a way of looking at and operating the business, not something that we've sort of bolted onto the side. So ideally, the tool should be guiding in your day-to-day functions. It's not something that you should say, well, it's September, so that's when we think about strategy, right? It should be, every day you should be looking at the business through a strategic lens, and this tool will help you do that. So it'll help you manage day-to-day decisions on an ongoing basis, but aligned with a strategy that's going to help you achieve the results that you want to achieve.
And this is going back to the QuickBooks analogy, isn't it? That previously you close the ledger sometime a week to 2 weeks after the end of the month, and then run on again. And at the year end, you'd run for 3 months. Now it's instantaneous. It's all balancing the whole time.
I think that's a perfect analogy. Absolutely right. Accounting used to be something where you closed your books at the year end and you got your financial accounts, and then you could see how the business had done during the preceding year. But of course, at that stage, it was too late. And now that we have modern accounting systems, which are live and up to date, you can use your accounting information on a day-to-day basis to help you make decisions in the running of your business. And StratNavApp is doing the same thing for strategic thinking. It's bringing it forward into the operation of the business, not leaving it as something you do once a year on an offsite and then forget about for the rest of the year.
Got it. And to be fair, again, disclosure is what I and we do every day in success consultancy. We're dealing this with clients and also for our own use, literally on a daily basis. We actually have one strategy theme, which is just for marketing. So you can do the strategy as a nested strategy for the overall organizational goal.
And you know, what's quite fun and perhaps a little bit meta is, of course, we run the strategy for StratNavApp in StratNavApp. So how we prioritize building and promoting and developing the tool is managed in StratNavApp as well. So we're making the same strategic decisions about our own business on a daily basis as we'd be advocating that you make for your business. And so it really is, you know, in a sense, really bootstrapped from the ground up in terms of making our product successful, as well as helping to make your business successful. Right. So what I'm going to do, just for the purposes of this conversation, and to make it more accessible for people, I'm not going to start off with one of these two existing business options, because that obviously then requires us to explain what the existing business is before people can grapple with it. So I'm going to, just for the purpose of this exercise, assume that we're doing a startup. And if I click on that, the first thing it's going to do is ask me for the name of my organization. And for the purposes of this, I'm going to use the proverbial bike shop exercise. So I'm going to have Bob's Bike Shop is the name of my organization. We don't have a URL yet because it's a startup organization. You may have a URL, but in this case, I'm going to just assume we don't. And click Next. It's going to give it a project name. I'll just accept the default. And you'll see it's now taken me into the system. And the first thing you'll notice in the main working area, we have these AI tips at the top. The AI tip I like to think of as if I was standing over your shoulder as a strategy consultant going through this exercise, looking at what you're doing. That's probably what I would be telling you now. So if you're looking for some guidance, you can read that. You don't have to, of course. You can just dive straight into the tool yourself.